everybody. Happy Monday. Dr. Peter Glidden here. Coming to you today live from Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri, where I can see the mighty Mo right from my hotel room tonight at 7 o'clock giving a free healthcare lecture across from the sports complex at the Clarion Hotel, across from the sports complex at 7 o'clock tonight in Kansas City, Missouri, talking about all things holistic, talking about why one of the best things anybody can do for their health is fire their MD now and get on board with Longevity's brand of science-based, clinically verified health recovery protocols, 7 o'clock tonight. We're going to sell the place out. We already have 170 registered guests. Call 573-429-5686. That's 573-429-5686 to reserve your spot. We are rolling it out big time here in Kansas City tonight. That's the Clarion Hotel, 7 p.m. Central Time. That's when the lecture starts. Get there early. Get there at 6. It's directly across from the sports complex. 7 o'clock tonight, Kansas City, Missouri. I can't wait to bring our message of science-based, clinically verified health recovery through medical nutrition to the suffering mass of humanity. Who's suffering? Everybody's suffering. Why is everybody suffering? Because everybody goes to MDs for help with chronic disease. And this is like going to an electrician for help with your computer. Well, they both work with electricity, right? But I wouldn't talk to the guy that wired my house if my computer had a problem, or if I had a problem with my well water, I wouldn't talk to the guy that cleans my pool. If I had a pool, right? Oh, they both deal with water. I wouldn't talk to a lifeguard either. You need a plumber for that. You need the right dog for the hunt. You need the right trained professional for the correct job. The problem that we have here in the United States, of course, is that we trust that our MD knows what's best for us, when in point of fact, the only thing that our MD knows is what they've been trained in, and what they're trained in is one small piece of the pie of medicine, one small piece of the pie of medicine. MDs are trained in drugs and surgery. With them, it's drugs and surgery all the time. And like the fella said, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So the MD, guess what? You have high blood pressure, you have type 2 diabetes, you have arthritis, you have depression, you have anxiety and panic attacks, you have insomnia, you have heartburn. What's your MD going to do? He's going to throw a drug at it. Until it gets so bad that you need surgery. Oh, you're overweight because your stomach's too big. That's the problem. We need to cut your stomach out. Oh, you have arthritis because you have a voodoo curse. Oh, that's the problem. Oh, you're just getting older. You have the arthritis gene. I know, that's what you've got. You've got the arthritis gene. You need surgery. Well, no, you don't. The only reason you're suffering with a chronic health condition is because you have the wrong doctor. You took the wrong dog to the hunt. You didn't even know there was another dog. You had no idea. And this is why my colleague Dr. Wallach and I give over 400 free lectures a year. Wallach does the majority, 300. I'm lucky if I can get over 70. But, you know, when I'm not doing a free lecture like I am tonight right here in Kansas City, we do webinars. I do 1, 2, 3, 4 live webinars a week, and you can gain access to my webinars by going to fireyourmdnow.com. That's fireyourmdnow.com, and signing up for my online health recovery protocol. By the way, folks, if you'd like to call and talk to me today, 866-582-9933 is a toll-free number. That's 866-582-9933. And while we're at it, we might as well go to the phones right now, because we're ringing off the hook, as they do every day. Cleo from Concord, North Carolina, I think, is calling with a question about arthritis. Thanks for calling, Cleo. You are live.
Yes, I was told that you might be able to give me something to help me. My joints, they just get stiff every day. It's stiffening up, and I'm taking ibuprofen, and that seems to help. But I'd like to get off of those too.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a good thing to talk about, Cleo, right? Because ibuprofen or Tylenol or oxycodone or OxyContin or any type of pain medication, anti-inflammatory medication for arthritis, is just a stopgap. It's just a stopgap. It's not going to fix the problem. It's only going to manage the problem. And, it's like painting over mold that's in the basement. It's, you're not going to fix the problem temporarily. The mold isn't going to be there anymore, but it's only a matter of time before it comes back. So what is better to do in a situation like this, rather than try to medicate symptoms into submission with Tylenol or with, some type of pain medication, Advil, whatever, it's better to feed your body the raw materials that the joints need in order to fix themselves, right? And this is our whole supposition here, Cleo. This is our whole position, our whole reason that we exist is because we are of the opinion that the human body is endowed with a God-given ability to fix itself, that the human body knows how to fix itself, and that the human body wants to fix itself, and that most of the time the only thing that the human body needs to fix itself is the raw materials necessary to fix itself. The only problem is the stuff that your joints need to be healthy, is the nutrients that your joints need to maintain their health are not in the food. They're not in the food in the amounts necessary. And this, I think, is the biggest problem that we make individually and collectively as a society, is we have all bought into the false notion that food has everything that we need to be healthy, and all we need to do to be healthy is eat from the 4 food groups and life is good. Just make sure you don't eat too much and you have enough water, and it's nonsense. It is impossible to give your heart or your joints or your kidneys or your liver or your skin or your brain, it is impossible to give your body the nutrition that it needs just from eating from the 4 food groups. And you're a perfect example, Cleo. The reason that you're starting to get an arthritic problem is not because you're getting older. It's not because you have the arthritis gene. And it's certainly not because you have a voodoo curse. The only reason that your joints are getting worse is because you have the wrong doctor, buddy. You have the wrong doctor. You took the wrong dog to the hunt, and I'm glad you found us, because I am going to set you on the straight and narrow right now, Cleo. So this begs the question, Cleo, how much do you weigh? What's your current body weight?
About 195.
How tall are you?
6 feet.
Okay, so is 195 a good weight for you, or you feel like you could stand to lose 5, 10, 15 pounds? How do you feel about that?
I feel like I stand to lose 5, 10, 15 pounds, sure.
Yeah, okay. All right, so there's 2 things that we recommend that you and everybody else does in order to support and promote the health of their body. The first thing, Cleo, is there are 10 foods that you need to stop eating. There are 10 foods which, if you continue to eat them, will whittle away at the health of your body, making you sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker until all those chickens come home to roost, and then you're just going to keel over and die, and then your doctor will just wipe his hands, throw a cigarette ash on your grave, and walk away thinking that they did the best thing that they possibly could do for you. Now, to get a list of my 10 bad foods, it's free. All you need to do is visit fireyourmdnow.com. Just go to fireyourmdnow.com, and right there on the front page, if you click on the link that signs you up for my free monthly newsletter, just sign up for my free newsletter. It's right there on the front page of my webinar, and we will automatically send you to a page on the website, a hidden page on the website, that has my list of 10 foods that you must avoid. So just go to fireyourmdnow.com. It's free, Cleo. Click on the link to sign up for my newsletter, and you will be given the downloadable link of the 10 bad foods. So I want you to identify and eliminate those foods. It's not hard. It's really pretty easy. And then at 200 pounds, the recommendation would be 1 healthy start pack. At 200 pounds, it's 2 healthy start packs per month. 2 healthy start packs per month. 4 bottles of selenium per month. 4 bottles of selenium per month. And 3 bottles of glucogel at the 240 count per month. That's 3 bottles of the glucogel at the 240 count. 4 bottles of ultimate selenium. And 2 healthy start packs per month. Now, if that's too rich for your blood, Cleo, I have no idea what your budget is. But if that's too rich for your blood, then all I want you to do is 1 healthy start pack and 1 bottle of glucogel per month. 1 healthy start pack and 1 bottle of glucogel a month. And if you give my assistants a call, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. They'll tell you how to order this stuff at the wholesale price. They'll tell you how to take it. Or if you were recommended to listen to this radio show by somebody who's already been doing the vitamin program, just get in touch with them. They'll tell you how to order the stuff, get it at the wholesale price, and they'll also tell you how to take it. We all lean on each other here, Cleo. It's like one big happy family. If you take these nutritional supplements into your body every day and stop eating those 10 bad foods, it's only a matter of time until your body starts to recover its health, your joints start to fix themselves, and this is the biggest secret, the best kept secret in medicine. This is what the pharmaceutical industry does not want you to know. And this is what your medical doctor has not been trained in, bless their heart. Your medical doctor might be the nicest person God ever made, but they don't know what they don't know. And your medical doctor has no training in medical nutrition at all. No experience, not even any respect for medical nutrition, for goodness sake. They don't know what we know. And that's why we give free information away all the time, because where did I read? My people are destroyed by lack of knowledge. Well, don't be one of them, Cleo. Thanks for checking me out. Thanks for giving me a call today, and I'll get in touch with the person that told you about us, or give my associates a call, 855-347-3696. Get those supplements dialed in. Eliminate the 10 bad foods from your diet. Live long and prosper. And call me back in 3 or 4 weeks, Cleo, with an update. Tell me how you're doing. Tell me how your joint pain's going. Tell me what's happening to your body as you finally, for the first time in your life, thanks be to God, gotten on the train of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. You're the man, Cleo. I want you to be the poster child for joint recovery in North Carolina. You can do it. We're here to help you. That music gets me every time, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, coming at you live at 7 o'clock at the Clarion Hotel across from the sports complex in Kansas City, Missouri. That's Kansas City, Missouri. Giving a free health lecture tonight. We have about 170 people pre-registered. I don't even know how many people the room can fit, 200, 250 maybe. If you're interested and want to come, 7 o'clock tonight, it's free. What's better than free? 573-429-5686 is the number to call to pre-register and make sure you have a seat saved. 573-429-5686. There's only so many people Noah could fit on the ark, right? There's only so many people we can fit in the room. We always, well, we don't always, but frequently we sell these events out. It's just standing room only. And if you want to come and stand around for 2 hours, be my guest, but it's better to sit. 573-429-5686 is the number to call to reserve your spot. I hope to see you tonight at the Clarion Hotel, 7 p.m., Kansas City, Missouri. That's directly across from the sports complex. Now, if you're listening to the podcast and would like help ordering the products or just figuring out the health opportunity, what we've got going on here, or better yet, the business opportunity, that number is 855-347-3696, 855-347-3696. And to talk to me live in person today on the radio show, and every day that we're live, which is most Mondays through Fridays, most weekdays from 3 to 5 Central Time. The only time that doesn't happen is if I am traveling on a jet somewhere or in an airport. 3 to 5 Central, Monday through Friday. That number is 866-582-9933. Give me a call today, 866-582-9933. Lines are open. Next up is Athena, calling from Alberta, Canada, where I'm going to be this coming weekend with a question about the thyroid. Thanks for the call, Athena. You are live.
Thank you. My sister has hypothyroidism, and I was wondering, in addition to the Healthy Start Pack, what other supplements she should be taking?
All right, so for the listening audience, hypothyroidism means an underactive thyroid. Now, thyroid is a gland in the endocrine system which produces hormones, and it's located in your throat, a little bit below your Adam's apple. And back in the day when there wasn't enough iodine in the food, which is why they started putting iodine into salt, there was an epidemic of thyroid swelling caused by iodine deficiency, and this was collectively referred to as goiter. This is one of the things that the United States Department of Health actually did correctly. They figured out, remember, this was before the days of pharmaceutical power, they actually figured out that enlarged thyroids or goiters were caused by an underactive thyroid. And an underactive thyroid, most of the time, is caused by not enough iodine. So rather than having the government and insurance companies pay for hundreds of thousands of thyroid surgeries, what they did is they just put iodine in the food. And where did they put it? They put it in the salt. That's how salt started to become iodized. And just by simply adding iodine back into the food again in the form of salt, goiter and underactive thyroids were eliminated, but virtually eliminated. Now, every once in a while it still happens, but it doesn't happen in epidemic proportions like it used to. What we get now are these mild, low-grade cases of an underactive thyroid, and a person can have an underactive thyroid for decades and not even know about it. When you do have an underactive thyroid, you're sluggish, your body temperature is cold, you're always the coldest person in the room, you've got cold hands or feet. It can even get so bad that your feet turn blue or your hands turn white, right? It's called Raynaud's disease. I mean, they're like ice cold, man. You gain weight just by looking at food, your metabolism is slow and sluggish, and you kind of feel like you're in first gear all day long. Also, your hair can get dry and or start to fall out. These are all symptoms of an underactive thyroid gland, and what do? Well, guess what? It's not rocket science. All that we do is give your body the nutrients that it needs to have a healthy thyroid. So, in addition to the Healthy Start Pack, which provides the fundamental 90 essential nutrients that the human body needs for everything, in addition to that, we give extra thyroid nutrients, and the secret sauce there is 1 bottle of Ultimate Selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, 1 bottle of Ultimate Selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, 1 bottle of something called Ocean's Gold per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and start using salt that has iodine added to it liberally. You want to be using salt on your food liberally, but only use salt that has iodine added to it. I don't care if it's Morton's iodized table salt, Celtic salt that has iodine added to it, sea salt that has iodine added to it. Use iodized salt, extra selenium, the Healthy Start Pack. You're going to feel great. 866-582-9933. That's the number to call. It's toll-free, by the way, to speak to me live today and any day that we're live here on the Genesis Communication Network. Monday through Friday from 3 to 5, 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. One last thing I wanted to mention about the underactive hypothyroid condition. This is easy to overlook, but often an underactive or an overactive thyroid is related to your head and your neck not being on your body the way that nature intended it to. If you look at somebody's skeleton from the side, if you look at the way that the skeleton is shaped from the side, it looks like a big S-curve. It's a big S-curve. And there's that S-curve starts in your neck. In order for your body to be healthy, there needs to be a little curve in your neck. And remember, the nerves that feed the thyroid get to your thyroid through the neck. And so if the vertebrae, if the backbones in your neck, if your neck bones are not on your body correctly, if they're not oriented properly, if the curve is going the wrong way, or if there's no curve, it's called a military neck, then the nerve transmission going to the thyroid can be effective. So if you have any type of a thyroid issue, underactive, overactive, goiter, whatever, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, autoimmune thyroiditis, which is a made-up disease, by the way, it's not an autoimmune disease. You do not have an autoimmune disease. You have a disease, but it's not an autoimmune disease. That's a figment of the MD's manifestation, a figment of the MD's imagination. It's never been substantiated, and it's one of those things that, once 500 people say it, well, it must be true, right? Yeah, well, I don't think so. Fire your MD. Fire your MD now. Fire your MD tomorrow. Just keep firing your MD. Put your MD's office on your speed dial. Call him once a day before you leave for work. You're fired. Hey, Doc, it's me. You're fired. Get a recording of Donald Trump and just play it over and over again until they, have your call blocked. That's my advice. Fire your MD as frequently as you possibly can and get everybody in your life to do the same thing. But if you have an underactive or overactive thyroid and you're doing the medical nutrition, science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition, by the way, don't neglect the obvious. Go to a chiropractor, a decent chiropractor, and have them do a side x-ray of your neck to see if your curve is correct. And if it's not correct, a good chiropractor will be able to give you exercises to put the curve back the way that nature intended it. And once your head's on your body straight, everything gets better. I mean, everything gets better. Next up is Sandy with a question about diabetic neuropathy, I think. Hey, Sandy, thanks for calling. You are live.
Thank you for taking my call again. I talked to you last week. I forgot to add to my serious woes. I've got the diabetic peripheral neuropathy, along with everything else that they're trying to treat, plus the fact my glucose, as I took my blood test after I talked to you, had it tested, it's 198. Woo-hoo! I want to get rid of, it's high. Yeah. That's because the blood sugar's high, yeah, I guess. But this doctor is very interested in longevity because I talked to him about it, and they have 4 chiropractors that you mentioned in the office. So they're looking at it, too. I need to know what to give them, what information to give them, because I told them that it would be a great opportunity to help their patients, plus they can earn something on the business end.
Well, the best information to give them or anybody is a copy of Dr. Wallach's best-selling CD, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, right? Give them a copy of Dead Doctors Don't Lie, let them listen to it. And or give them a copy of one of my CDs, Healing is Easy, or Who Made the MD King. I don't know that the MDs are going to like that so much. You might want to just give them Healing is Easy or Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And see, this is one of the things that we're up against here. But first, before I go launch off onto that little diatribe, Sandy, diabetic neuropathy, of course, is caused by too much blood sugar. I mean, your blood sugar is way too high in your blood. Sugar is not the Antichrist. Sugar is not the devil here. Your body loves and needs sugar. Sugar is the gasoline of your body. You couldn't bat an eyelash without sugar. The problem with sugar is how much sugar is in the blood. And how much sugar is in the blood, of course, is regulated by how much sugar we eat in our food, and whether or not our body has the requisite nutrition to properly metabolize the sugar. So even if we're eating food that gives the body exactly the right amount of sugar that it needs, and I mean exactly the right amount of sugar, if our bodies don't have the nutrients necessary to metabolize the sugar, it's going to be too much sugar. Not because it's too much sugar, but because the body can't metabolize it the way that nature intended to. It's kind of like, you know, if you had a 5-lane superhighway and then there's an accident 5 miles down the road and the 5 lanes go down to 1 lane, well, there's going to be a big backlog of traffic. It's going to be a bottleneck. Well, the same thing happens with sugar. Even if you're eating exactly the right amount of sugar, if your body doesn't have the nutrients it needs to metabolize the sugar is going to back up in the blood, and when you get sugar backed up in the blood, all kinds of problems happen. Your body produces way too much insulin, and it's actually the insulin that causes destruction and damage to the nerves. It's not the sugar, it's the insulin. But the insulin is high because the sugar is high, so where there's smoke, there's fire. In any case, what we recommend is you get to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is too much sugar in the blood, and so what do we do for that? Well, the recommendation is 1 healthy blood sugar pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Now, since you're already doing the other stuff, you already have 75% of what's in the healthy blood sugar pack, so all that you would need to do is add to your current program a product called Sweeties. And listen, man, if your blood sugar is that high, I would get 3 bottles of Sweeties a month. 3 bottles of Sweeties a month, and take 12 Sweeties a day. 12 Sweeties a day. That's 4 with breakfast, 4 with lunch, and 4 with dinner. And when you take 12 Sweeties a day, in addition to the other 90 essential nutrients, the Healthy Start Pack or whatever, your blood sugar is going to start to come down noticeably every 2 weeks. I mean, I've seen blood sugar, I saw a 70% reduction in blood sugar levels in a 17-year-old Caucasian male who's type 1 diabetic, and he was taking insulin shots. He had a 70% reduction in his blood sugar values within 4 days of starting the Sweeties. So sometimes this stuff can produce remarkably fast results, right? So if you're measuring your blood sugar every day with a little finger prick, that's not a bad thing to do. I would continue to do that. If you're not doing that, then just do the 12 Sweeties a day for 3 months, and then go back to the MDs or the chiropractors would be a better bet, and have them do something called hemoglobin A1C. Hemoglobin A1C is the blood test that's best used in order to, kind of figure out what's really going on with your blood sugars. And you're not supposed to be able to lower the hemoglobin A1C numbers with anything but drugs, but we do it all of the time. So the recommendation here would be 4 of the Sweeties 3 times a day for 90 days, and watch your blood sugars fall down like rain falling from the sky on an April day. It's a beautiful thing to watch. Now, the thing that I was alluding to before is perhaps an interesting and necessary thing to talk about here. Because in naturopathic medicine, we're the underdogs, and what we talk about is stuff that you can't patent. You can't patent a vitamin, you can't patent a mineral, and because you can't patent it, anybody can make it. And if anybody can make it, then the profit motive is eliminated because anybody can make it. And so there's not a lot of impetus to do research on vitamins and minerals and essential nutrients, because once I could prove, once I raised $10 million and did a double-blinded cross-sectional study with 1,000 randomly selected patients, all who had type 2 diabetes, and I divided them up into an experimental group and a control group, and I proved unequivocally that the Sweeties eliminates type 2 diabetes. Anybody could make the Sweeties because they could just get the recipe and copy the ingredients because it's not patented, right? So there's no profit motive in the world to do the type of research that's necessary for the scientific community to be happy about this, number one. And number two, even if we did that, if like Steve Jobs willed Dr. Glidden $1 billion and he can do any type of research that he wants, and I did that, here's what would happen. After I published that research and proved that, this subset of minerals eliminated type 2 diabetes, it eliminated it, the Food and Drug Administration would classify those minerals as a drug. They would remove them from the sale in health food stores, make it illegal to sell them. You could only get them if a pharmaceutical company manufactured them. They tried to do that with fish oil. Actually, they do that with fish oil, but they still let health food stores, carry it, manufacture it. So I'm telling you, man, it is one giant for-profit, out-of-control research establishment, and so that's why nobody has ever done the $10 million or $20 million or $30 million of whatever double-blinded gold standard research on medical nutrition to prove all of this stuff. But instead, what we do is what the MDs do all of the time. It's what the MDs do all of the time. It's called the practice of medicine. Now, there's something called off-label prescribing that MDs do. And MDs do it. This is a very difficult thing to get data and statistics on, but conservative estimates are that anywhere between 30 and 65% of the time in an MD's office, MDs will do something called off-label prescribing. So they'll give somebody a pain medication in order to help with their high blood pressure, or they'll give somebody a high blood pressure medication to help them sleep. They will prescribe a drug for something that the FDA has not approved that drug to be used for because their clinical experience dictates that it's successful in that arena. It's the practice of medicine. It's called off-label prescribing, and it happens all of the time. And we do the same thing. Most of what we do in the world of holistic medicine was started by clinical research. Somebody did some research with mice or with rats or with a very small section of humans and showed that, son of a gun, when you take these nutritional supplements, the blood sugars change positively, and it's remarkable. Holy smokes. So then we take that ball and run with it clinically, and we get the same results. And so, son of a gun, we're going to, then continue to recommend that our patients in the future do the same thing, because what do you know? Number one, it works. Number two, it works. Number three, it works. And, of course, number four, with holistic medicine, it doesn't hurt people. There are no negative side effects, and it's unbelievably inexpensive. So, regretfully, we don't have the gold standard, hard and fast, multi-million-dollar, double-blinded research that MDs are so crazy about, because that's just not the way the game is played in the United States. The pharmaceutical companies have that deck stacked against us. But what we do have is the same thing that they have. Science-based, clinically verified therapeutics. That's why it's called the practice of medicine. So when people ask you where all this research is, it's in Dr. Wallach's head. It's in Dr. Glidden's head. It's in the offices of licensed naturopathic physicians everywhere. This is our wheelhouse, man. This is our game. We have it dialed in. If they're looking for multi-million dollars of double-blinded research, it don't exist. It's never going to exist. The pharmaceutical companies have us opted out of that game completely. But what we do have is results, and that's what drives us forward. And that's why the best place to start to bring medical professionals into the light is with Dr. Wallach's CD or my CD. Try it on and let me know what happens. 866-582-9933 is the number to call, and or visit the website, fireyourmdnow.com. That's fireyourmdnow.com. And once you go there, click on the Join Longevity button. Join our merry band of men and women, and let longevity bring you into the light of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Tonight's event, Kansas City, 7 o'clock. It's across from the sports complex, and that is more commonly known as the Arrowhead and Kauffman Stadiums. The Arrowhead and Kauffman Stadiums right here in Kansas City, Missouri. The Clarion Hotel directly across from the Arrowhead and Kauffman Stadiums, Kansas City, Missouri, starting at 7 p.m. tonight. Get there early or you're not going to get a seat. I'm telling you right now. Get there at 6 o'clock. You're not going to get a seat. And if you'd like to reserve a seat, and actually, reserve a seat so that it's not standing room only, the number to call for that, for tonight's event, 573-429-5686. That's 573-429-5686. We're going right back to the phones now with Irma calling up about a stage 4 cancer. Holy smokes, Irma. Thanks for the call. You are live.
Thank you very much. Yes, I was diagnosed with adenocarcinoma of the parotid gland. In this past September, I had surgery to remove the tumor, which was a little larger than a golf ball. And then I had a PET scan, I think it was the end of November, and they said it had metastasized to my lymph nodes, and they say that I'm stage 4. And so I had one round of the cisplatin chemotherapy, and I refused the rest. No more chemo, and I did not do the radiation.
Well, good for you. I mean, I'm in complete support of that stance, and here's why: because it doesn't work, and the MDs know that it doesn't work, but it's all that they have. And so from there, the way that their little pea brains work is, well, we've got someone with cancer. What are we going to do? Well, we've got this radiation, we've got this chemo, and even though it's 0.007% successful at increasing the lifespan of patients with cancer by 2 days, it's all we've got, so we're going to throw it at her because it's all we've got, right? And this is how they think. Goodness sake. And this is one of the biggest problems, Irma, that we have here in the United States is when an industry is monopolized, all kinds of corruption and nonsense happens. And the medical industry in the United States has been monopolized by the MDs and the pharmaceutical companies for the last 100 years. It is illegal to treat cancer if you're not an MD. You can't treat cancer. You can't even say that. You can't even intimate that you're going to treat cancer unless you're an MD. It's illegal. It's against the law. I want you to think long and hard about that. The only people that can legally treat cancer are the people that suck at treating cancer. The people that have completely dropped the ball at treating cancer. The people that have wasted $600 billion in cancer research money. $600 billion. And what do they have to show for it? Nothing, nada, niet, except a small percentage of a one type of childhood leukemia that they've actually had success in treating. One type of childhood leukemia they've actually had success in treating, but even that success is poor, quite frankly. They've got nothing for it, and yet they're the only show in town. Now, we can't treat cancer. We can't. And if I was diagnosed with this type of cancer, in order to support and promote the health of my body, here's what I would do. I would do 8 bottles of Z-Radical a day. 8 bottles of Z-Radical a day. 8 bottles of Z-Radical a month. I got ahead of myself. 8 bottles of Z-Radical a month. 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium a month. And a 1 healthy start pack. A 1 anti-aging healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. I would do 1 anti-aging healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. I would do 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium a month, and I would do 8 bottles of Z-Radical a month. In addition to that, I would completely eliminate from my diet all of the 10 foods that we have determined are bad for you. And you can get that list for free by going to my website, fireyourmdnow.com, and signing up for my free monthly newsletter. I wish we had better news for you and for every other cancer survivor, cancer sufferer in the United States, but the only people that can legally treat this are the people that have failed us. And this is a tragedy of biblical proportions. Clean your diet up, Irma. Support your body's nutritional status. Keep your fingers crossed. Pray to God for help. See what happens and call me back with a report. I want to know. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, ladies and gentlemen, continuing the fight for your health, hoping to drag you into the light of medical nutrition. Stick around. We're coming back after these words.